Okay, we're back. Tape number 8 here. Okay, last we were taken off with here, we had Meier in tow on our 76th contact on Monday, May 23rd, 1977. And he'd been asking Meier where Semjase was, and she said that, well, she'd been gone, she was staying away so as not to interfere with the development of the new community and the new house, because Semjase had a way of always wanting to be involved in everything, which is getting too close to Billy and the other people. So she felt it best that she stay away for a while, and it had been about 3 months. Meier warns Billy that the Befath are causing more problems, and they are getting ready to do something. They're very concerned about Billy building the center and founding a center for spiritual growth and truth, and they're very concerned about the security. She says also to find out that many members of Billy's group are being influenced by the Fath already, that they are projecting thoughts into their subconscious, unable to defend themselves and discern where these thoughts are coming from. Already many members of the group are finding themselves influenced by this and developing wrong thinking. And that certainly would explain, Billy says, why we're having so many problems in the group, so many arguments and egos are flying all over the place. Some of the members want to be commanders and leaders and think they're better than the other people. The irony is that none of these people in previous lives have been any person of particular note or value. They were just housewives, potters, etc. But they're all acting like now that suddenly they're very, very important to the mission and that the earth just can't get along without them. Well, Billy is returned home, and he had been gone actually for about an hour or so, but she put him back so it only looked like he'd been gone about 15 minutes. Because when he left, everybody was working on the house, and they saw him walk away to the east and leave. And now, 15 minutes later, he pops back coming up from the west, and it would have been impossible for him to actually get around to this location that fast. Because of the terrain there, he would have had to have gone like, clear around a hill, and there's no roadways or anything for transportation. So it would have been impossible for him to actually come back from that direction, except for the fact that Meier moved in time. The 77th contact was on Tuesday, May 31st, 1977. Patah at this time tells Billy that after listening to the thoughts of many of the members in the group after they've been working together for several months, that there are certain members of the group who are just not going to make it in this community. There are problems with some of them, massive egos where they think they're too much better than the other people. There are some people also have very low self-esteem, insecurity complexes, which won't be able to get along in a community atmosphere. Sounds kind of normal already, doesn't it? So they've been monitoring their thoughts for about 3 months, and Patah admits they're not too sure exactly how to advise Billy about this. So they turned the information over to the High Council, hoping they would come up with something. Patah again warns Billy about the evil of the Befath and for security. He tells him that there are very difficult times ahead, and during the next 12 months there's going to be lots of difficulties in the group. Some of the group members may actually desert and leave. The next contact is on the 78th contact, which is Wednesday, July 6th in 77. At this contact, Meier shows up with Alina. Alina is a Lyrian. She's from a planet called Sater, S-A-T-E-R, in the constellation Lyra. It's 157.3 million light years away from us. Their son's name is Mel. Some of these names just crack me up. Here's a son named Mel. We'll have a planet named Bob and a a moon named Nancy or something. I love these names. The interesting part was that Billy once before, when he had a contact and first met Meier, he was able to play with her beam pistol, and has some pictures with that. Alina brings him a gun also, and he's able to take pictures of Alina's arm and body and so forth, but he has to black out the face on the negatives, which he does. And he gets to shoot a few holes in trees and twigs and thing. And this is an old gun that she has. It's about 600 years old. And there are a few pictures of it around. I show it at talks every now and then. It has 2 little boxes on it. And when you pull the trigger, the 2 boxes, I call them boxes, are just little containers on the gun that control certain radiations. And when you pull the trigger, It just dissolves things. There's no sound or light, but anything within a range of 37.2 kilometers just dissolves without a trace. Only that place where it first hits something is there like a carbonizing or a little burn mark there when it first hits something. She says also on this weapon, if you pull the trigger back farther, that it releases only the front box where the two elements don't mix together, and it has like a self-defense mechanism. It doesn't kill someone. It has the effect of like drugging them or knocking them out somehow. Their newer weapons are much more advanced, she says. They're far smaller, and they're also connected to the brain waves of the person who owns the weapon. Only that person could actually fire the weapon, and it's more sophisticated where you can actually almost think what you want the weapon to do, what you want it to hit, and it will just aim at it and fire for you. So it's far more sophisticated, but they didn't have one of those for Billy to play with. Billy asked about her ship. Wanted to know a little bit about Meniere's ship, because he noticed the animals didn't run away when the beam ship came. And she commented, well, my ship is not a beam ship like Semjas's is. It's a different kind of ship. And it works off a different principle. It's not a beam ship, so it doesn't produce these electromagnetic vibrations and oscillations that the animals can pick up. Her ship flies by what she called a densification of atmospheric gases. These gases are then compressed and exhausted somehow. So it sounds almost like a rocket sort of thing, where some sort of sophisticated system of gas pressure that they used. She says it cannot fly in outer space. It was just designed to be used in atmosphere around planets. So a little different ship here. Meniere and Alina spend a little time praising Billy about how well he knows so many different forms of manual work, carpentry, electrician, and so forth. And they keep a lot of praise again on him about being such a logical thinker and so advanced and so different than all the rest of us earthworms. So, again, all through the contact notes, Billy is constantly being praised and kind of patted on the head and told how good he is. And it's obvious by this time that, they're doing this all the time to keep his spirits up, keep him going, keep him on his mission. It's just a constant thing all the time. The 79th contact was on Saturday, July 26th, 77. Billy's not feeling very well, and he thinks that he's been poisoned from some sausage. Semjase has returned, and he's having a contact with her, and she says it's not food poisoning. And she brings him into the ship for an examination, and right away uses some little device which reveals in his blood that there are some sort of parasites inside of him. She gets excited right away, and she pulls some little device out that she puts next to the skin, and turns it on, and takes about 6 seconds, and she says, there, now all parasites have been eliminated from your body. At the moment, your body is totally free of any disease and any parasites. So I'd sure love to have one of those little devices. She warns Billy that something's gone wrong here, and she can't understand, where these parasites have come from, so she's going to look into it. She also, on that contact, warns Billy that there are very dangerous egos forming in the group, which are going to cause a lot of problems for him, and it's going to make it very difficult for the group to come together. Billy asks if Quetzal is going to go through with his promise of a demonstration of the ships for the rest of the group, and she says that this time, well, he had planned to, but he is so concerned by all of the ego, jealousy, and anger that's raging in the group trying to form this community that he's going to hold off on that, and he'll let Billy know later on. On the 80th contact, which was Wednesday, August 24th, 1977, Semjase is moving her ship next to a tree to meet Billy when she picks up really strong feelings of pain from Billy. Well, this is kind of a surprise to her. She's never felt this before. Something's wrong. So she reacts kind of quickly